Minutes, all that look good. Hearing no opposition, let's take a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, that also is approved unanimously. Do we have any customer comments on the agenda? I think we do. So, next item, we're going to go into recognitions. We have a new employee. President, would you like to tell us about our new employee, please?
Sure. Robert Holt comes to us as a truck driver and a maintenance technician from just right across the road, so his drive's about the same from his current residence. But this position has been open since former TUA employee Steve Holt passed. He was contracting, driving our sludge truck for us. So we're backfilling that spot with a full-time TUA employee instead of a contractor. So Robert, feel free to come up and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. Hello, my name's Robert Holt. Like Mr. Allen said, I came from across the street. I was working at Satisfaction Windows. I was the warehouse manager there, and I've pretty much done a little bit of everything, starting out from farm work to sales to pretty much, you name it, delivering. I've had my CDLs for about 10 years. And so yeah, I live in Hillsboro. So I mean, it's a little bit of a drive, but it's not far. Like I said, I fit in pretty good, I believe. Everybody's been real good, taught me, stuff right off the bat. And it's been an eye-opener of different things that, you're allowed to go through and whatnot, and I appreciate it.
Well, welcome to the family.
Yes, sir.
Can we get a picture?
What school did you go to, brother?
Collier County.
In front of the podium.
Yeah, come in front.
Looks like you must have played football and didn't have that line.
No, I didn't play football.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Welcome, Robert.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, Robert.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Next area of recognition, we received an award at the Clean Water Professionals of Kentucky and Tennessee meeting. I'll let our president talk to us about it.
Yeah, just kudos to the wastewater treatment plant team on receiving this award and being honored with it.
I don't think there's many of those awarded at that conference every year, is there?
No, it's very difficult. You don't receive one violation. So
Yeah, so,
That's for 2 consecutive years.
yeah, that means our wastewater
That's amazing.
plant is doing great work. We're going to push right on into specific agenda action items. First item on that agenda is consider approval of policy G045 on the first reading. Can I get a motion on that?
Mr. President, I recommend that the board approve first reading of policy G45, indemnification of TUA board of directors and officers as presented.
And can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Proper second. Now we will get some explanation of this policy from our president.
So the background is Alderman Tullahoma recommended researching this policy. I reached out to our attorney, Bill Reeder, and he provided us with a draft. Policy committee met, and this is the policy they recommended. Alderman Tullahoma may have comments.
Well, what kind of triggered this was actually the city board and involved some of the lawsuits, which I can't get into any details on. But the comment that was made by our city attorney that the liability limits might not be adequate enough to cover the suit. Meaning insurance, the assumption is insurance covers everything, and it doesn't. And there's also limits within the policy that can be exceeded. And the other thing that was on that, it had named 2 board members individually. So, in essence, I discussed it with our board and also with our attorney, and felt like that we needed more than just the assumption that our insurance would cover us. And what this virtually does is put the backing of the utility and also at that time, the city board, to indemnify us in the event that the insurance is not either adequate limit or coverage is not available. Now understand, you just can't go out and raise cane and be covered. This is for actions associated with the performance of your duty and within the scope of your duty. And I think to be personally, I wouldn't want to serve on a board, especially a city board or a board like this, without knowing that I am going to be backed by and adversely the assets of the the likelihood, if you listen to attorneys, the state of Tennessee does have limitations on suits, but the federal level does not. And the federal level, a lot of those are going to be your employment practices liability, which could be opened in, and the other consideration is the defense costs that you could incur taking care of yourself, even though you're right. So I really appreciate this being considered, and I certainly recommend that we approve it.
And I totally appreciate you bringing this with your expertise in front of the board, because it's really critical that we're all covered for any type of legal action.
It is.
So,
It really is. And I guess really I'm surprised that we didn't already have one. Because, no, really, seriously, y'all haven't served on the city board for the terms I did and anything. This is, I appreciate Butch for bringing this far, because this is really needed.
Well, if there's contributions, in fact, I've dealt with insurance and contracts for 48 years, and I've seen what can happen, especially when you're dealing with certain things that insurance policies are just now starting to cover or provide. And again, it's a very comforting feeling to me that we're willing to do this, because you shouldn't serve on any board. I don't care if it's the board of your church to anything that doesn't at least have directors and officers coverage and what's called employment liability coverage.
The amount of liability, is that taken care of with the beginning of this paragraph, to the fullest extent permitted by law?
That is correct.
That takes care of the amount of coverage.
What it virtually does is that you hope that your insurance is adequate enough to handle the situation. But, and again, there could be lawsuits that are brought that are not covered by our policy. The assumption is everything's covered. What this does is the last resort. This is where you could be named individually, and our policy limits are exceeded, and you're sitting here having to foot the bill if individually you are. And they'll do that. The laws, they'll name everybody their brother. And even if you are not directly involved, you could incur legal fees to prove that you're right.
Yes, that's right.
Gotcha.
I think if you read through this, Bill did an excellent job, in my opinion, on addressing this and handling it, because there's certain limitations that you, like I said, you can't go out and say, boy, I am now covered by the full assets of the TUA board, of the system, and, be outside the scope of what your responsibilities are. So there are limitations which are very proper in there. So
Very good, very good.
Any other discussion before we vote? All in favor of approving this policy on its first reading, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously as well. Next item to consider is approval of policy G046 on the first reading, and this has to do with public meeting and vendor posting requirements. Mr. President. Motion, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second?
second.
Proper motion, second. Now we'll have discussion.
So TMEPA, Tennessee Municipal Electric Power Association, brings a lot of benefits to local power companies in Tennessee. One of those is staying in tune with what's going on in Nashville in legislation. So back in February, Senate Bill 212 was passed, and what that basically states is that any governmental agency that has a website must post their agenda 48 hours in advance. Ms. Dean learned this at the MEPA conference, so she brought this back to us. We took it to the policy committee, and this is the policy that came out of that. Ms. Dean may have some comments to add.
So one of the other things, 'cause we typically do this anyway, but where the attorney for TMEPA was letting us know about, well, what if there's like a last minute change? You know, that was where it was the real sticking point, that he wanted to make sure that we have a policy and that will do, and this one will do that. If there is a last minute change as to the agenda, as long as we post that, we're fine. But without that policy, we couldn't, address any last minute things that come up, so.
So our policy is stating that if we do have a change, it has to be posted online.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Question would be, and this is just a question, would it also be prudent to consider 48 hours, let's say it's a weekend, right? But would it be prudent to also consider 2 business days? Because that was part of the discussion in that meeting. That was part of the, not discussion, it was just the talk that the 3 panelists had up there.
So for us, that would make it Friday rather than...
Yeah, because let's say if a change, if I recommended a change, it's on Friday night. A meeting is Monday. We could actually put it out there, but people that really had an interest in it, say if from a city standpoint, that wouldn't give them time to know that the change is coming to prepare for it. So I'm not advocating for that. I'm asking the group to think about it. Would there be benefit of making sure that it was 2 business days, and without posing a problem for the board to do what it needs to do?
Well, that would, in essence, put it on a Friday. That means if we have a board meeting Tuesday, we would technically not be able to put that on the agenda for that meeting.
That's right. That's something to consider.
Yeah.
Just a question.
So this is more of an internet, it's put on the website. So
Right.
it is available for
Whoever.
whoever.
Yeah.
And time would not, I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying, Jake, but I still think that you really have given proper notice.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
Well, also, keep in mind, you can modify this agenda tonight.
Yeah.
So,
It's just a notification.
just a notification.
Right,
I mean, you can
right.
modify the agenda the night of the meeting.
48 hours.
That's correct. Yeah.
But I mean, right now, aren't we posting it? I need.
Yeah, we posted
We
it
are.
already.
Yeah.
We are.
So
We just didn't have a
We're already
policy.
compliant, we just didn't have the policy.
We didn't have a policy to cover it.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing
Yes.
pretty much what we were.
Right.
Any other discussion? All in favor of approving policy G46 on first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, that also passes unanimously. Next, specific action items, consider approval of participation in the PVA Flexibility Option 2.0 project with Silicon Ranch. Can I get a motion here on this?
So moved.
I second it.
Proper motion and second. We'll let our president tell us all about this.
Yes, so back in 2020, TVA started a program they called Flexibility, and we'll call it Flexibility 1.0, which allowed local power companies to either produce or purchase a percentage of their electricity from someone other than the Tennessee Valley Authority. Well, in 2023, they expanded that to Flexibility 2.0. Well, at that time, we started doing research and actually entered into a contract with a company to find a location in Tullahoma to build and own, the company would, not TUA, a solar farm for our percentage, which is close to 5 megawatts. Well, by the time the property was found, the rates had went up so much that it wasn't financially beneficial to our ratepayers to continue that agreement. Silicon Ranch is building a 140 megawatt solar farm in East Tennessee, West Tennessee. Yeah, he has history there. In West Tennessee, and a number of LPCs have agreed to be a part of that program. Our part is 4.32 megawatts. Silicon Ranch is a very reputable solar company. Financially, what that means is if we buy, it's really a buy-all, sell-all. TVA will be buying our 4.3 megawatts from Silicon Ranch, and then TVA will write us a check for that. So at today's dollars, it would be an estimated $325,000 savings a year to our ratepayers. Now that number will only go up as wholesale electric rates increase. We're locked in at what we buy from Silicon Ranch at. So as TVA wholesale rates increase,
We'll stay the same.
our return on investment will increase.
That's right.
Let me ask you something. This is, how do you, if you buy this electricity, how do we get it to us?
So the way this will work is TVA, we will buy, we're buying from Silicon Ranch. TVA then in turn buys it from us. Now the reason, and there's transmission lines at this property where the solar farm will go. So it gets on the transmission grid there. The benefit for TVA is they need generation currently. So, and they're out of dollars to build generation. So Silicon Ranch is building generation, TVA's buying the generation from them.
So that gets on a power line and it runs through this maze and all of a sudden ends up at TVA and then TVA
Well,
disperses
it's
it?
directly connected to TVA's power lines.
That one of those major
And
lines.
Now, don't look at it
to us
as,
from TVA.
is the energy generated there is coming back to Tullahoma.
Yeah.
No.
I just, it's been curious too, when TVA buys something from up north, how in the world does it get here? So that's that power grid that we
Yes.
always are talking about. Okay.
So, with the packet that we were provided, the PowerPoint, on this project, to me, it was really impressive. The regeneration part of it, the US sourcing, American-made solar panels, the sheep, they're grazing. I love that. I really do.
Training shepherds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it. So I think it's just an amazing project that they're building, and it's not the only one. They've got projects all over, not only Tennessee, but California and especially in the Southwest. But my main question is that what kind of federal subsidies have they been using, and with those going away, is that going to impact their financials at all?
So the answer is, they did or will receive federal subsidies, and those are ending under the new administration. Those are ending. So we're the last LPC we're the 140th megawatt to join these. So if it weren't full, if the capacity weren't full, and say we waited till next month, so our credit, what we're going to sell for is $57. What we're purchasing for, is $57.50 a megawatt hour. If we didn't join this month and we kick the can down the road, that number will change next month drastically because those credits have ended. So if they didn't get the contract in August, our rate would go up at what we're buying it for. So that's the benefit of the subsidies.
When you and I talked, my concern was the continued existence of the source of energy with the subsidies disappearing. But we're not affected.
We're not affected by the
The worst thing
subsidies.
is, I guess, the contract would just go to fund.
The time is of the essence, it's true.
Yes.
This is something we need to have done. I was in Dunlap, make a long story short, my wife had a reunion in Pikeville. We went through Dunlap, and on the left, I was coming on the highway to go to Pikeville. There's a large solar farm there. Could you assume that they are using that 5% the TVA allows, or would they be connected to something else? Or
You could, yeah, that would probably be a good assumption. That, I don't know, I'm not familiar with that area,
What I saw.
or what LPC that is, but yeah, they're probably using their flexibility. Now, you know, we own a small solar
Small,
farm.
yeah.
It's 250 kW.
Oh, that's spring room.
Yep.
How does that impact the 5%?
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
It's part of the
Yes.
5%.
So basically,
This plus
yeah, we're
this.
giving, we're in agreement with Silicon Ranch for 4.3275. So add 250
It's
kW,
impacting
and that was
very-
our flexibility. Yeah.
Very good.
Any other discussion? All in favor of approving participation in this flexibility option 2.0 project with Silicon Ranch, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, that also passes unanimously. Next action item is consider application for the State of Tennessee Infrastructure Planning Grant Program. Do I get a motion on that?
I move, so move.
I'll second.
A second.
President. Hearing a proper motion in a second.
So this is a grant with a 5% required local match. What I would say is that we've received grants and we're doing studies currently, and our contractor, has actually finished a study, and we have a lot of work to be done on fixing our infiltration into the wastewater system. So any grant that we can get our hands on, we should be applying for. So I highly recommend approving this.
This is state level, right?
State level grant, yes.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of this, say aye.
Actually, I had a
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Patty. Sorry.
Yeah, so in reading Mr. Potter's notes to us, the mid-month notes, part of the report that we had gotten for the infiltration and inflow study, the cost that they were estimating that we're of $4.5 million over 10 years, but,
No,
or no?
that's one project for,
With,
Yes.
along with a 10-year schedule,
Yes.
okay? It's a lot, and so I appreciate that we're applying for grants wherever we can, because it's a huge deal within our water and wastewater, and these projects are not inexpensive. Yeah, so,
I want to get the words right, but much of the wastewater that we're treating at our treatment plant is infiltration from stormwater.
Right on.
So once we get these issues resolved, I mean, we could be talking, like now we're talking, we may have to increase the size of the wastewater treatment plant. But once you resolve these issues, you're not looking at that. So we'll have to have discussion on, that $4 million is really recommended that we do that next year. And that's just one portion of it. So,
It's quite a big, it's a big project.
So actually, the runoff from all the rains and stuff like that go through.
not all, but
lot.
a lot, infiltrate into our wastewater system.
Any other discussion? All in favor of applying for this grant, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that also passes unanimously. So I'm going to get into committee reports. Policy committee was a little bit busy because we had a couple of policies that we voted on first reading. Anything else y'all got coming up? Maybe?
Yes is the answer.
yeah, there is.
Always
There
got
is.
something in
We're
the future.
working on.
Rate committee did not meet
Yeah.
over the last month, I don't think.
We hadn't finished.
Yeah.
They may meet
Rate committee will be meeting
before the end of the year.
before the end of the year, in large part because of TV. So, TV rates.
Is it time to do that already again?
That's always a big deal.
Lord help us.
Yeah, boy.
All right, we're gonna get into departmental reports. Who's the first? One body.
First, I'm gonna say thanks to JT for your service on our board. You've been here
Thanks, Jason.
a little less than I have, and I've enjoyed my time getting to know you, and just want to start off by saying that.
Thank you.
So for the admin department, we're working on closing out our June financials. You'll see they're not in there. We were waiting on the entries from the state of Tennessee for our OPEB, which is the other post-employee benefit entries. We got those Friday, actually got the spreadsheets yesterday, and we got the calculations done today. So we're working on that. So in September, we will have June and should have July financials for y'all. So we're working through that. Auditors are out again this week. Thursday should be the last day. They might come back one day next week, but everything's going really well. They haven't asked for a lot of stuff. We were really ahead. Jason Ray did a great job getting every document that they needed, and they haven't asked for a whole lot. So that's been really nice. NIC, give a quick update on that. You know, it goes live next month. I think it's about 4 weeks from now. So we'll be going live with that. In the meantime, we've got access to their app. It's called App Suite, and we'll be using that for the employees to enter their time, and eventually when we get the services, we'll use it for all aspects of TUA's operations. Still working out some kinks on that, but it's going well, and we're busy. A lot of projects, but that's it.
Questions? Thank you. Very good.
That's it.
Electrical and fiber.
I'll kind of stick with some fiber notes tonight. For July, we were plus 11. We also, early this month, we hit a new peak on overall traffic on the internet. It hit 22.5 gig, which is large. We have begun some initial design for installing fiber at Brandywine Apartments. I don't know if anybody knew this, but back in '08, we were not allowed on property, so they have reached out and they want services. So we are in the stages of trying to get that done. GLDS, which is Great Lakes Data Systems, which is our fiber billing system, they had to rebuild the Broad Hub and Innovative Systems connector after we upgraded Innovative Systems, which is our set-top box middleware. It kind of broke the auto provisioning, so GLDS had to rebuild that, and that's been back into service now for several weeks. While we were doing all that, the actual Broad Hub software was also upgraded, along with the provisioning server that it talks to. So a lot of upgrades going on in the back. The fiber backbone design is complete for LCP 52, which is Lincoln Station. It's also going to incorporate kind of a new loop between East Lincoln and Highway 55, and so we're about to release that. Usually, as soon as you get the subdivision agreements from the developer and we know the houses are going in, then we'll start that project. Sagewood is going to be also fed by a new cabinet. Those splicing instructions have been released, and we will complete those within the next few weeks. Any questions?
Thank you. Tell us about wastewater and water.
What I'm going to tell you about water and wastewater is that this week alone, the crews will install by the end of the week 40+ water taps. So that speaks to a little bit of the growth that we're seeing here in Tullahoma. Keep Dale in your prayers. He's out sick tonight. So keep him in your thoughts and prayers. The electric department, we've all heard about the subdivisions, the Pine, Sagewood, Stillwater, Lincoln Station, Legacy Preserve, all those. So our crews are still working to ensure that those facilities are installed. Most of those are complete, and they'll be moving to working on Lincoln Station. Is that the one off Lincoln Street? So the crews are staying busy. And it's challenging to get all these neighborhoods installed, and the facilities ready for that, and continue working on our 5-year plan. So recently the engineering team is working on updating the 5-year plan We presented that back in January, I believe, and we look at that once a year because things change. So once we have that updated, which will be soon, we'll bring that back to the board and update you all on where we're headed the next 5 years.
Is Lincoln Station out East Lincoln?
That's East Lincoln, yeah, close to Ham Street.
It's on the right
Yeah.
going out.
Yeah. We're researching a new radio system. The radio system we currently have is very, very old. It's hanging on by a thread. We used to have 3 repeaters in town. We're down to 1. What we're really interested in is what they call the TAC-N, TAC-N system that the state of Tennessee offers. And the radios are good anywhere you go in the state. And they just hop from tower to tower. Fire, EMS is a part of the TAC-N system. So we're researching that.
Police, the police, local police is
Yeah.
use that too.
Coffee County uses the TAC-N system. They're also, on from the radios, Joseph is working on a grant application for the electric department from TDEC. It's a grid resilience grant program. So he's preparing an application for that. AMI, we put that on hold while we transition to NIC and financials. Reason being is because we're in between 2 different systems, Jason and his team is having to work very hard on seeing that our bills and everything is getting out to the customers correctly. A lot of manual data entry right now. And once we get through all this, it's going to be much better. But we're nearly halfway through with the AMI change out, and we'll start that back up in probably October or November. And once we get the meters here, we'll wrap that up. If all the meters here are here, we'll wrap that up by the end of the year. We have a drop dead date of the end of February to get that done. And then finally, emergency load curtailment plan. It's a plan that TVA requires us to have in place. The rolling blackouts, if you're familiar with that. It's a 6-step plan, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Historically, 30 is high as you go. You're getting voluntary, you turn your thermostats down at our offices and reaching out to the customers. 40 and 50 has only been one time, and that was when we did the rolling blackouts. So we've submitted our new ELC plan to TVA, and that is a plan that we update yearly. Any questions?
Do we have a specific grant person who applies for grants?
Electric grants, yes. His name's Joseph. These grant, the water wastewater grant, we use water management to help us write those grants. We do not have a grant writer. But the electric department, the engineering team handles that.
Well, do the department's head are sort of responsible for making sure the grant?
The department heads are responsible for knowing about the grants.
Okay.
And then, passing it on.
Yeah.
And also our TMEPA, TVPPA, they're very helpful in grants. And we also partner with an organization called Beneficial Electrification League, that's their main priority is grant writing. So they help us with that too.
So is that exclusive for?
You have to be a partner of theirs, yes. Any more questions about the electric department?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. I also want to thank you, JT. I've only been here about a year, but I'm very grateful to have had your leadership on the board and the time I've had to work with you. For marketing and communications, on Friday of last week, we had our annual tailgate event, which was a huge success. We had great turnout. Again, we give away 250 shirts to kids K through 8, so it was a great way to generate excitement leading into the first home football game, which was last Saturday. And then jumping off of that, as football season kicks off, I just wanted to put out a reminder that all Tullahoma High School football games, home and away, can be watched on LightTube Channel 23. We are heavy in the planning for our LightTube movie night, which will take place on Thursday, September 11th this year, and we will be having that at Johnson Lane Softball Complex. And we'll be showing the Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So the Ninja Turtles may make another appearance. So again, there'll be pizza, popcorn, snacks, and maybe some fun characters from the movie as well. Public Power Week will be hosting our Public Power Day celebration on Wednesday, October 1st from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., so over lunch, like we did with Water Day. So looking forward to putting on another event there to educate the community just on the value of having public power here in Tullahoma. The next edition of the Tennessee Connections magazine will be mailed out next week on September 5th, so look for that in your mailboxes here soon. And then we've expanded our partnership with the Tullahoma Virtual Academy, so having some of their students help out with football broadcasts, and then also looking to do some digital marketing projects with them as well. They're always looking for real world, real life examples where they can put their skills to the test, so we're looking forward to that partnership. And then we'll also be sponsoring the Bel Air Elementary Student of the Month program this school year. So both of those are through the Tullahoma Chamber's CEO program. And then lastly, we have launched, or we're testing out, a new door-to-door outreach for light tube. So this gives us an opportunity to connect with customers that currently aren't on our light tube service, answer any questions they might have, demonstrate the value of light tube. And through that, the team has already generated a number of leads, and we have had our first sign up from that as well. So looking forward to seeing that program grow.
Do we have a list of people that are on and
Yes.
any other questions? Thank you.
Thanks.
So now to board member comments. Mr. Stanton, tell me what's on your mind.
I'll tell you what's on my mind.
Preach.
Losing JT, that's what's on our mind. We just had a wonderful reception for him. 5 o'clock, Tullahoma turned out in large numbers to honor JT and to recognize his service to our board. And outstanding board member, model really. We're going to miss you. Thank you, JT. Attended the tailgate party, very successful. Got there well before it started. It was a long line already. Getting those t-shirts and get the pizza. And wasn't any pizza for some people, I noticed. But in any case, it was a great affair. It's great to see the community come out in such large numbers. Congratulations to the guys at the wastewater treatment plant for being recognized by the clean water professionals of Kentucky and Tennessee. Very nice to see them get recognized because they work hard. I'd like to thank Ms. Dean and Mr. Tolan for your work on the policy committee. That insurance policy, I wish I had given more thought to it because I didn't realize we didn't have something quite as
Robust.
As robust, yes, well, good word, as that. So thank you to you two guys. Congrats to the Wildcats. How about the Wildcats?
35-14.
35-14 beat a good team, Shelbyville.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to this Friday night. I won't be here, I'm gonna be out of town, but is it true I can watch it on YouTube?
Yes. Live on LightTube YouTube.
LightTube YouTube, folks. If you're out of town, no excuses. That's right. Catch those Wildcats. Also, the marching band. It's huge, huge. They were all over that field. Yeah, they sounded great. I'm a band enthusiast because my kids were in the band, but what a great job our band people do and the kids. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. We're going to swing it over to Mr. Toma.
Well,
Mixing it up.
I have been on this board, I think this is my freshman year, is about to turn over here. And I have really enjoyed it. This is a family type board.
Yeah.
And that is really, really important because we're losing a family member and we're going to be hopefully gaining a family member. It's exactly as stated. We're here for the community. We're here for our customers. I want to give a kudos to the Chamber of Commerce. If you're not aware, they were #1 in the state.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is.
And that speaks a volume when your contemporaries make that kind of a move, because the Chamber affects and is an integral part of this community. Other than that, JT, we've been friends for a long time.
Yes, we have.
And put my city hat on, there are a lot of committees to consider. So I hope somewhere along the line, we might see your name in the hat for something on that line. I am done.
Miss Patty?
Yeah, again, losing JT off the board is, top of mind. He's been a great mentor, and I don't think people really realize how, not just within this board, not just within Tullahoma, but within Middle Tennessee and TVA, and even nationally, he's recognized with his participation on the Policymakers Council for APPA, just an outstanding board member and advocate for public power. So I'm gonna definitely miss all of your input and guidance but as you mentioned out at the reception, this is a fabulous board. We'll keep going, but we may have to reach out and chat. Anyway, something that I really am pleased that we're going ahead with the partnership with Silicon Ranch. From all appearances, they look like a phenomenal company, and they really are doing things right, I think, with Tennessee values in mind. So I think that's a really positive move forward for TUA and for looking out for our customers and keep. This is one way to keep our rates stable and low and affordable. So I think our community should be really proud of moving forward on this plan. So that's all I have to say.
I'm going to go next, and then I'll let JT go last. Thank you for your years of service.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being a good example to all of us, especially those of us that came on while you were on here before. So leading by example. I think you got TUA in a good track. Last year was we had a few surprises, and as chairman last year, you led us through that, led that ship through the rough weather with no problems, and we reached our destination. So, like I said, if there was a class on how to be a board member, a board chairman, I think they could look at you and write that course. Congratulations on the THS Wildcats where they hooked up on Shovelable. I think we had a running back that's going to help us bring the coffee pot back home this Friday night.
This weekend.
I hope so. And always remember that you can watch those ball games from the comfort of your own home if you don't show up at Wilkins Stadium to watch it, because we provide that home and away. So I usually watch them online when I like to. I don't have anything else. It was nice to have cool weather here in the last few days. I think it's called false fall here in Tennessee because it'll probably be 90 degrees next week. But our demand, I don't know what our demand was the last 2 days, but it's not been low. It's been low. That's all I have. And now JT, tell us about it.
Wow. I can say a lot of things. I don't know where to start. First and foremost, I want to, again, I'm so thankful to have had this opportunity to be appointed to this board and to work with such outstanding people. First of all, I want to thank the board that's sitting here today. I think this board is well suited with the knowledge that you have and the different perspectives that you have. And actually the experience that you have. You have a lot of people that have done a lot of things on this board. This board has no reason but to just keep taking this organization forward, to be of great value to the management here. And to whoever is coming to be on this board, consider yourself very, very blessed. And I say that in all sincerity. I say it coming from a background of being on a lot of different boards. Mr. Tullahoma says something. This board acts as a board. This board puts aside its own, the things a lot of times that are your own things that you consider, and sets it aside to do what's best for this entity and for Tullahoma. And so whoever comes is going to find a board that listens to you, that really respects your opinion. And so just be thankful that you were appointed to this board. It's a very great board. I've witnessed this organization turn its leadership over totally since I've been here. Every position at the top has been replaced. It's amazing to me. I've sat here and think that this is the best it could be every time. And then when it turns over, it gets better. And I don't say that trying to slight anyone that was before, but it's something that just says what this organization is. This organization is an organization of ethical, people-caring, people-focused people. And that's why through all the changes that I've seen in 9 years, this organization just keeps getting better. It's amazing to me. And it's because of the leadership. Now that says a lot about the leadership that's before you, right? Because the culture that's built here came from the people that were before you, and you've taken it and gone better. You've done better with it. I've watched this organization expand itself. You know, it's added new positions. I think it was very important that you added a safety person. This is a tough industry. This is an industry where safety is of the utmost importance, and to really focus on that need was important. This organization has added Emma's position, something that says a lot about this organization. This organization, again, is more, and I had some people that got on me because of some of the decisions we made. This organization is more than just provides power and water. Some of you that Mike's been here, Jim's been here a while, some of you took a hit because we do things like outreach to help people that has nothing to do with power. You're supposed to. If we lead here as leaders and all we think about is power and water, we're missing the boat. This is a service organization for the people in Tullahoma. That we have the roll-up that these people themselves do to benefit others, that we have contributions to the nonprofit organizations that add so much to this community, is something that was started before I got here, but it says a lot about Tullahoma Utility Authority, because we're a part of this community. We're supposed to do whatever we can that's within the bounds of our authority to help people. We continually get our employees to go and learn and bring it back to make this organization better. And I'm just so proud to have been a part of it. I'm going to wrap this up because I'll get emotional. I will tell you that I again have benefited from every person that served on the board of directors from the time that they got here. From Bob Lindeman, from Steve Cope, from Andy, from every one of you, because I learned from people, and I think that's what it takes. I think if you come in with your own focus that you know everything and your way is the best way, I don't think you should be here. I can say that because I'm leaving. So every leader that is sat in the chair, a chairman has done a great job. Mike, Jimmy, really, I mean, I've just worked with good people. Miss Patty, you brought so much here to this board that has never been before. from your perspective as an educator. Bush, having you here asking questions is very important. And so I'm honored to have served with each one of you all. And again, I applaud this leadership that's here now. You all are doing that. You all are doing an outstanding job at a tough time. This organization turned totally over within 3 years. 3 years. Every position has been replaced. And I thank those that were before you. Miss Scott's beard. Miss Scott standing up there. He did a great job of preparing those that are now in these positions. So I just want you to keep going. Can't say that I won't be up here to get the snacks.
Shannon snacks.
Shannon, thank you so much. And I just want to thank each one of you and just keep being you and keep doing what you do. Thank you.
Oh, I gotta follow that?
Good, I have faith in you.
I won't regurgitate everything I stated up there, but I'm extremely thankful for you, JT. And I just happened to be with JT when Brian came and he called us out of a meeting. We were in a meeting and he called us out and kind of told us what was going on. And so I barely knew JT at the time. I've been coming to board meetings, but the way he handled what he handled, of course, I like how it worked out. But I've got to be honest. I didn't realize what I was getting myself into at the time. And as people cycle the board chair, you'll realize that the board chair sometimes communicates more with me than others. I'll call the board chair and ask questions and bounce ideas. And I thank you for the trust that you put in me. And the mentorship, especially over those first 3 to 4 months for being there and helping me succeed. I thank you for being an advocate for public power. And the uncertainty that's around public power right now, we need as many advocates as that we can get for public power. And what you do in D.C. and what you've done in the past in D.C. is very commendable, very appreciated by all advocates of public power. So I hope to see you around. You're welcome at every board meeting.
Cheers here.
Yeah.
Just let Shannon know so we have enough food.
I hope you get to play more golf and enjoy more time. And just thank you for all that you've done for TUA for the past 9 years.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Anybody else have any kudos for JT? Seeing that we don't have anything else to come before the board tonight, I call this meeting adjourned.
Mercy, you have to sign us.
JT.